Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Now, the moment that we actually enter Carnelia Tower, something is going to happen. Oh, and I was about to say suspicious music, but also suspicious tear in the background there, because full screen mode. Yeah, I know this game wasn't exactly optimized for full screen mode, but it does give the best graphical quality for my recording, so I have to use it. Yeah, no one will want to come here due to that Beware of Monsters sign on the outside. Speaking of Beware of Monsters... Yep, more of these things, kind of awkwardly walking down the stairs. So, it's kind of time to get our revenge on these things after that Dorothy disaster from earlier. Thankfully, they're all going to mostly run into range of us. Let's see, I think I can actually go for White Gahanna here. Yep, they're all in range. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I'll just go for Aerial. I'll put Aerostorm on before the actual boss fight. As for Agate, I don't want to knock any of you out of the AoE, so... I could actually try this. So, I am likely going to be using Chaos Brand a bit later in the tower, but Confusion is an incredibly powerful status in this game, and the thing about Confusion is, it actually gets better the higher up on the difficulty levels that you go. But I'll probably explain why a bit later. Or possibly now, if this actually works. Yep, they're vulnerable to it. Okay, good. It's just me, these ones not hit as hard as the ones in the Dorothy fight. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be careful to maybe try not to kill the one that is currently confused, because it's kind of on my side at this point. Let's see. Yeah, Joshua's gonna go pretty soon, so... I suppose I can actually aim here? Because watch this. So, due to their higher strength stats on the higher difficulties, enemies who are confused hit each other very, very hard in this game, especially on Nightmare. So, confusing enemies and having them basically do your work for you, because not only does it have, does it let the enemies do ridiculous amounts of damage to each other, it also pretty much takes them out of the fight because they're going to be focused on hitting each other. Also, you lined up pretty effectively for Agate's, yeah, Flame Smash I think it is. Come on, confused dog. There we go! Betray your comrades! And it's just snapped out of confusion in time for it to die. So that was a brief demo of just how good Chaos Brand is in this game, because pretty much anything that's not immune to it, it's a 100% chance of working. Also, the choice here is pretty obvious. This is actually worth bonus BP, but in terms of what we've seen so far, clearly those attack dopamines are tied to the men in black clothes. So the attack on the gate at the start of Chapter 2 was their doing. Well, yeah, I guess that attack actually happened because, yeah, maybe you should be careful where you go when you've got those things on your tail. And that was a fairly obvious detail. So yeah, that job from Cassius. I think I remember from back in the beginning that Dad only dropped the jobs that were enrollant on Shara, and I think he specifically did say that he had someone else to take care of the others, and now we're finally finding out who that was. Well, Estelle doesn't know, but the player certainly does. That one in the mask that kind of, well, Agate sort of beat him, but it also wasn't really him. So after that, yeah, I guess I can heal a little bit. So, Carnelia Tower. Now, remember what I said earlier in the game that you want to swing the camera around at the entrance of these places eventually? Yep, they hide 2 chests right behind the entrance. Tirabalm. The chest is empty, because you've already been here. And EP charge. You found a whole lot of nothing. So, I think I missed those 2 chests on my first playthrough. There are actually 15 chests in Carnelia Tower, and I really like those sort of fire pillars there. Yeah, obviously Carnelia Tower's specialty is fire. And also, it's Mr. Big Bird 2.0, this thing right here. Flame Velga, very, very weak to water, which I think I'm actually going to go ahead and put that on someone, because I don't think I have water on anyone right now. And it has a lot of HP, and it has a very, very annoying Feather Shower attack, so... Actually, I probably should use Cloak and Dagger, but actually I don't really need to. All of Joshua's attacks have a chance of instant death regardless. Yeah, when there's only a single enemy, Chaos Brand is not too useful, because confused enemies will still attack you if you're the only viable target. Oh, this thing is not putting up nearly as much of a fight as I expected it to. That will change later, though. I also love how those things look when they die.
Let's move out.
So if Joshua does not hit level 23 by the top of the tower, then I'm going to go back and fight Shining Toms. I really want him to be level 23 before the fight at the top, basically. An empty chest is a tragic thing indeed. Black coat. Aha! You again! That's +1 to our armor count, actually. Okay, who wants the black coat? I suppose if I give that to Joshua, can repel edge weapons. That's kind of cool. Also a central factory product, which is kind of interesting. They make it right here. With that, I can actually swap over the metal jacket to Estelle. Lower arts defense. We're not actually going to be encountering very many art uses in here. So yeah, I will just warn you in advance, Carnelia Tower is the tower that I'm the least familiar with the layout of all of them. So if you see me fumbling around a little bit with where the chests are, yeah, that's kind of why. I do know there's exactly 15 of them though, and okay, Agate has water arts, but obviously we don't really want him using those. How about I swap that one out for Mind 2? Doesn't actually give me blue impact though. Yeah, I thought that was a monster chest. That one was pretty obvious. So, once again, robber trappers are back, and as you can see, wow, these ones are incredibly weak to water. I think that's the biggest weakness we've actually seen in an enemy so far. I didn't even know weaknesses in this game went above 200%. They're also very weak to wind. In fact, they're weak to pretty much everything except fire, which they're neutral to, and explode when defeated, so Agate's kind of in trouble here, because he sort of lacks range attacks, although maybe not, as you will soon see. White Kahana just barely doesn't catch all of them. It would if I had range 1, but, yeah, I kind of don't want to put that on just yet. So, Dragoona Edge. This is actually a pretty wide line AoE, and it also cancels any spell casting, which is pretty effective against things like this. I guess I can afford to use it on one of them. I like the way it looks, too. It also hits pretty hard. Okay, my guess is they're using Firebolt EX. I forget exactly what these things do, but I can actually just go ahead and Earth Guard. Well, Earth Wall, but it puts Earth Guard on multiple people. Okay, that's only going to stop one of their attacks, though, so I'm going to have to flicker to delay one of them out of the turn order. Because otherwise, we're going to get smacked with all 3 of them, and that probably won't end well. Oh, Spiral Flare. Okay, that's actually a fairly powerful attack. It's, I think, equal in power to White Kahana, though I'm not entirely sure. Might be a little lower, actually. I think I'll just go for Aerial. Because that third one's probably going to go down in a moment to Flicker. It should finish it? We'll see. I think it just barely survived. It did. That's annoying. But I can actually show off Dragoona Edge here. I mean, this is going to cancel spellcasting, but it's not really going to matter because it's dead anyway. And Estelle, I think, can actually use Comet on one of them. Probably would have killed the other one too, but yeah, I'll go for this one. Yeah, I will probably need to be healing quite a bit in this tower, but Flicker and Dragoona Edge as well as Comet are all very useful against these things because they're ranged physical attacks, so you don't need to get right in their faces and eat their explosion, just use physical moves on them. You're also worth quite a lot of Seepith. Mind 3. Oh, hi there. This chest has become my stalwart guardian. It shall protect me from the horrible jellyfish. The chest is decidedly empty, but it also makes a very effective shield. Anyway, with that, I'm actually going to swap that onto Joshua, because he's actually the main caster I have right now, so I may as well. And that does give me blue impact, as well as Tira, which is not bad. Okay, let's just stay behind for a little bit and wait for you to de-aggro, and now let's get you. And we also have some new Poms. Spike Jellyfish, okay, at least it's not effective against cavalry, not that we have any cavalry in this game, and Pumpkin Pom. It's kind of a cool name for it. It's funny how the Poms are kind of all named after flavors in a way. Let's see, I think I will white Gahana here. Although these things are very, very resistant to, arts. Whenever I hear Agate say throwdown, it reminds me of Kanji summoning his persona in, Persona 4. And I think in the Japanese version he said shobu, which is kind of like the Japanese equivalent of that phrase. I think the phrase throwdown comes from, like, throwing down the gauntlets, as in challenging someone. Oh yeah, that instant death proc was helpful. And yeah, Shobuda is like, I challenge you. Literally, like, it's a match, or it's a duel, but
We're good to go.
it's pretty much the same thing. Why the heck do you drop milled flour? Okay, so we have quite a few directions that we can go in here. Yep, all of them lead upstairs. So I'm going to take on this one first, just for some reason. Another one of these things. I don't like running in this tower because it's very easy to aggro these things onto you, and on the higher difficulties, getting those things aggro to you can be very, very bad. EP Charge EX. No soup for you! Yeah, pretty sure that's a Seinfeld reference. I did actually used to watch Seinfeld a lot back in the day, but I didn't see that episode. I think that's actually one of the last episodes of the series, too. I think it's in the final season. Which is kind of interesting, because it's apparently one of the most iconic episodes of that whole show. And over here we have yet another dead end with a bird in it. And here we get another Tirabal. It's empty. You have only yourself to blame. So I guess while we're on the subject of chess in this game, tracking the progress of all the achievements has been kind of interesting because basically we're getting pretty close to the end of the game now, and we've only just passed the halfway point when it comes to chests, whereas with recipes, they more truly reflect our progress through the game. The chest count is probably just an indication of just the kind of crazy chest escalation that occurs, oh, by the way, I love this area. This is like the Pom Party is what I call this, this part of the tower. Oh, wow, nice one. That's probably the most effective, apart from that Chapter 2 boss fight, that Hurricane's ever been in this playthrough. But yeah, it's kind of indicative of the insane chest escalation that occurs in later dungeons in this game. I'm pretty sure the final dungeon has at least 30, I think maybe even 35 chests, so yeah, basically, the closer we get to the end of the game, the faster the chest count will progress. Anyway, yeah, nothing over there, nothing over there. This floor is pretty straightforward. Carnelia Tower, 4th floor. I get the feeling this is where things get a little more complicated. Well, both of those paths are broken. And here we have another one of these central hubs that... Hi there, jellyfish. Unfortunately, sometimes confused enemies will just bumble around and do nothing. Obviously, it's preferred when they actually go after their allies. Like that, and... well, actually, maybe not so preferred, because the drain effect's working against me a little bit here.
Alright, we're good to go.
Nothing that way. Nothing that way. But there is a path up to the 5th floor there. Which, I may as well just take every stairs the first chance I get. Again, I'm not 100% familiar with the layout of this place. Okay, there's... yeah, these things tend to aggro onto you pretty quickly if they do see you. And 2 at once is really bad because of this. Might not look like much, but that damage adds up pretty quickly.
We're good to go.
At least they give you a lot of healing items. Yeah, this leads back down to the 4th floor. So, like, on the other side of that central area. Which doesn't particularly seem to lead anywhere either.
Alright, we're good to go.
Okay, good thing I came this way. This is back on the 4th floor, by the way, because there are chests down here. And another one of these annoying big birds.
Piece of cake.
Terra Bomb again. It wouldn't be empty if you hadn't already looted it now, would it? And... Hellfire Eggs. Yeah, that's actually a recipe. You will not find a finer empty chest. And yeah, this must be a completely isolated area, so I think now we can afford to head further up the tower. I knew I was missing something. Okay, obviously there's a chest back there. Yes! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Yes! Sorry, that's really fun. Combining the 2 most broken status elements in the game into one there. Well, I don't know if I'd say those are the 2 most broken in the game. Yeah, Confusion's pretty broken. It's kind of funny though, because Confusion's really not broken in the 2nd game. It definitely is in this one. Also, look at that. That's actually pretty cool. And look at all these birds. Yeah, let's stay away from the center of that area. And I'm going to go ahead and use an EP charge for this, because for obvious reasons, this is probably a monster chest. Yep! And it's the exact same configuration as last time, so I may as well just go ahead and cut this battle out unless anything really interesting happens in it, which I kind of doubt. And from that we get Octavian's Stave. It's empty. That's not entirely unexpected, right? Anyway, obviously that's a new weapon for Estelle, and it's, yeah, it's quite a bit stronger than her current one, too. And so, thankfully, no more pun in her weapon description. I may as well use these Terror Balms, the game's just kind of handing them out to us. Tear All Balm. So, yeah, kind of a pun on Terrell, the highest tier spell that we haven't actually seen yet, but yes, that heals all HP. Ha! No. There used to be a time when I was either in primary school or high school when that was really, like, it was a pretty popular phrase. Not so much these days. Okay, there. There. But we have one here, let me guess. Yep, it's another monster chest. He's not at 200 CP for this, but I could at least show this. Oh, it's only gonna get one of them. Yeah, let's not do that. That's a bit of a waste. Oh, okay, it seems like these things are immune to fate. They do seem a bit less defensive than the ones earlier in the game, though. Okay, Estelle's really close to level 23, and Joshua should be there too, with at least one Shining Palm fight. Cavalier Killer. Way to be thorough, hero. Yeah, that weapon sounds like it could be in a Fire Emblem game. It's probably based on the, yep, that's probably based on the Zanbato. Or, like, I think that literally just means horse-chopping sword, but it's, a sword, that's used, yeah, exactly what it says. It's an Eastern-style sword that was effective against horses. Okay, so, warning. That is gonna lead to the roof. Do not go to the roof unless you're very, very prepared. There's a very tough fight up there, so I'm gonna make sure to do as much as I can before that. Okay, that's probably also robber trappers. Let's get this one first. Celestial Balm. I'll be taking that back now, thank you. Nope, you could if you had hands, or, you know, teeth and eyes and mouths like the Dragon Quest Mimic Chest, but there are actually no Mimic Chests in this game. Anyway, I will just say, I like the fact that we're getting the chance to see more crafts now rather than just pure art spam. It's kind of a benefit of playing on hard and not Nightmare, because on Nightmare, art's just the best for everything. And that gets us Attack 3. Still empty. Attack 3 obviously is going on Agate right now. That is going to drop his defense a little bit, but it should be fine. Okay, now I just want to go ahead and check something. Do I have all the chests right now? Okay, already been there. Whole lot of nothing. Tragic thing indeed. You again. Decidedly empty. No suit for you. Self to blame. Already looted it. Finest empty chest. Haven't. Ah, okay. I missed one of... there's at least one I definitely don't have yet. Okay, I think I'm missing only one of them. And apparently it's on this floor. This is why I make notes in advance for these games. Yeah, this is probably the one that I'm missing, and I'm pretty sure it's more robber trappers. This thing just ate a line AoE bombardment. And Estelle levels up at the perfect time because she barely had any HP or SP left. Demi-handlers. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Say, have we met before? Actually, no, those are demi-handers, yes. So yeah, that's a weapon for Joshua, more for our weapon count, and that should be all the chests here. He needs about 100 experience for the next level. I should probably, like, I'm gonna go back to Elmo Hot Springs and heal anyway, just to get my full CP back, so I may as well just, yeah, head out of the tower and fight a Shining Pond. Because I really want Joshua to be level 23 before the fight on the roof, for a very specific reason. No, the suspicious music is still playing here.
We're good to go.
So, at level 23, Joshua learns Black Fang. This is actually his second S-craft, and yes, we definitely want to set that as his S-break. Just to quickly give a preview by going to the tactics menu here. Black Fang cuts down enemies with an instantaneous attack. Notice the all there rather than single? Yeah, Black Fang hits every enemy on the battlefield. That is going to be very helpful for the upcoming boss fights. Well, of course you would do that just after I'd healed. Okay, so here we are at the stairs to the roof here. So before we do anything, tactics, terms of battle position, I think I'm actually going to have these two start very far back, with Agate kind of taking the brunt of things. For orbment, is there a way that I can actually get Yeah, I got Chaos Brand on Joshua, so Chaos Brand on both Joshua and Agate's going to be pretty nice, as well as Earth Wall on you. You have Death Blow, you have Confuse, not that's going to be that necessary. Okay, Equipment in particular is going to be really necessary, so that's going to be good. I think, yeah, I kind of want that on you. Preventing Confuse, who has my... Okay, yeah, you have the Skull Pendant. The Skull Pendant is very, very important in this fight. In fact, also, gonna go ahead and put that on you, because I'm pretty sure these guys can inflict Seal. Unfortunately, I don't think I really have anything decent for Estelle, but... she should be okay. And... right, I've got my S-Break set. Agate should have Final Break, and Joshua, if you have him at level 23, which I highly recommend, should have Black Fang. Okay, now we can go. That is, like, for just a static image, that's a very cool looking sunset. Yeah, we've finally caught up to the group that abducted the professor. And this is why, if you're being pursued, you never run upstairs. And yet everyone in action movies always makes that mistake. And you shouldn't mock them. This fight's actually very, very tough. They hit pretty hard, they can inflict delay and occasionally even instant death. And this one with the gun has an AoE attack as... holy crap! Okay, that was absurdly lucky. Yeah, the guy with the gun has an AoE sort of bullet spray attack. They've also got a ton of HP as well, so yeah. Oh boy, if I go for Chaos Brand, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Chaos Brand is incredibly useful in this fight. I think I'm gonna go ahead and confuse the gunner too. And let's see, what's my... you know what? I would honestly, I'm fine using the Tear All Bomb here.
We're good to go.
Don't want to leave that thing in my inventory. Also, it's a pretty cool animation. So yeah, the majority of humanoids in this game are vulnerable to Confuse, and there are a lot of dangerous humanoid enemies we'll be fighting in the later half of the game, so Confuse is incredibly useful here. Because it makes them do this. Yeah, on the higher difficulties, they hit each other way harder than you. How the... wow, okay. I was just saying they hit each other way harder than you could ever hit them back, but, like... like, on my early playthroughs, I wasn't aware that Shadow Weaving could even fail at delaying you, but I've seen delay fail here at least twice now. It's kind of weird. Okay, Joshua, I wonder if... I think I'll actually just go for a... although that could inflict Fate. I don't want to get rid of my confusion. Okay, I have an idea. So, first up... actually, no, wait. I should probably have Estelle use Morale first, and then I'll go for that. So I think you'll actually just spend your turn healing Estelle. There's one non-confused guy who's dangerously close to me. And, okay, morale time.
Come on.
Oh, great. Really? Still no delay? That's kind of bizarre. And I do like reapplying Chaos Brand wherever possible. They still hit incredibly hard. Okay, we're buffed. I'm gonna go ahead and heal you with a specialty Eggnog, and then I am gonna go straight for Black Fang. So, here we go. I love that attack. Also, Joshua sounds surprisingly edgy when he starts using that move. But there may or may not be reasons for that we'll find out later on. So, as you can see, they're getting quite a lot of turns too, and those two are already out of confusion. Good thing I reapplied it on one of them. Oh, crap. Yep, there's that AT delay. So, okay then. I think I'm going to actually need to S-Break with Agate now. Yeah, I'm going to S-Break with Agate now. You haven't seen this attack yet, but let's go. Probably one of the most dramatic S-crafts at this point in the game, but now is a great time to use it. Okay, the gunner is still up, and he does have this really annoying AoE attack, so I can't get Earthwall up in time either. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and use a healing item on Agate now. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll survive, but it's still... Anyway, here it is, Bullet Barrage. This is why it's probably a good idea not to be too bunched up in this fight, because that actually hits very hard and has a wide AoE on it. Let's delay your turn. I don't think my S-Craft will do enough damage to finish you, although I could actually be wrong about that. I have a slight plan. Oh, I haven't eaten the Hellfire Eggs and got the recipe for it yet. I can probably do that later.
Good to go.
Okay, that should buff you up to 200, and this should hopefully do enough.
Here I come.
So, okay, let me just see if this does enough. Yep, just kind of barely. So, that fight.
We're good to go.
I was kind of running on adrenaline for that fight. That is probably, in my opinion, the hardest fight in the game so far. I made it look easy in some respects, but yeah, even with abusing confusion and S-breaks, it's still not trivial at all. Like, they do a ton of damage to you, and they can inflict a lot of very annoying status ailments, and the gunner is particularly threatening with Bullet Barrage if you're really bunched up. And being bunched up is generally a good thing when you've got Earth Wall, so there's a bit of a dilemma there. Unfortunately... yeah, they're gonna pull the exact same trick they did last time, although I'm pretty sure these are actually different soldiers to the ones we fought back in the lighthouse, and threaten to blow the hostage's brains out if we don't do anything. However... yeah, harming him would go against their goals. They can't really do that. Yeah, they had some means of air escape. I love Estelle. Yeah, this is the one time that trying to escape upstairs is actually going to help you. Well, at least they're decent enough to do that. But I don't think we can charge an airship with a machine gun on it. Yeah, we may be able to get them when their guard's down, though. Oh, they're still watching, though. Can we even pull this off? I'm pretty sure everyone saw this coming. And they're gone. And why do I get the feeling it's the guy in the mask? So with that over, we have Tita back in the party along with Agate. There's nothing else that we can really do on the roof of this place. And if you missed any chests on the first run through the tower, you can comb through it again. Not really all that much else to see here, so I think I'll see you at the bottom of the tower. And that is a lesson in just how fragile Tita is, by the way! I suppose while I'm here I can get that recipe out of the way. Okay, and we're out of the tower. Oh no, you're using that Tales of Symphonia catchphrase. Whenever someone says that, it's probably not nothing. So, we have to make our own way back to Zeiss, but I should actually mention something. If you want to hunt Shining Palms with Agate in your party, you might want to do it now. I think I'm fine on experience for this point, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but just a suggestion. On our way back to Zeiss, we'll run into this guy again. Yeah, certainly, because you have a unique portrait, unique design, and are in the opening movie. I think we can all tell what that means. So I'm sure you saw this coming. That special model they talked about? Yeah, that bullet was poisoned. Oh, you're certainly knowledgeable about that kind of thing. Estelle, you know there's an infirmary at the factory. You've been there several times now. Yeah, pretty sure someone of your stature can carry him pretty effortlessly. Yeah, there was something about the way you noticed us before. This guy is a bracer from Calvard, and his name is actually pretty interesting, and one that I'm going to need to talk about quite a bit. So, in the original PSP translation, he was called Zane. They changed it to Zin in a patch for the Steam version, because upon analysing more of the series' world building, the localizers basically came to the conclusion that because Calvard is described as having a lot of Eastern immigrants, him having an Asian-sounding name is probably important, so they reverted his name back to his Japanese one. So, early walkthroughs of this game, don't worry if they refer to him as Zane, it's this guy.